Very good morning and welcome to Mornings with Ken Rosato. Today is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026, and we will take your calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. To kick things off, meteorologist Mike Favetta has the forecast near you.
This weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts, serving all of New Jersey with 13 locations.
All right, Mike, it is top of the hour right now. Do you know what today is, by the way?
Other than one of the coldest starts of the year, go ahead.
Oh, like that's more important than what I'm about to say. Pooh. Today is National Chocolate Cake Day. No, I did not bake a chocolate cake at 11 o'clock last night, but I thought I'd put it out there in case some nice baker friend of ours would like to send one over. I'm just
All right,
saying.
clock is ticking. You got an hour and 58 minutes to get your mention in
There you go.
for
So
this
tell
morning.
me, tell me, I'm seeing stuff on your forecast for the weekend that's starting to worry me.
I know. It's another headache, Ken, because there's a lot of uncertainty as per usual with the global models kind of bouncing around as to where this storm may go. First, we have a more immediate and pressing concern, and that is how cold it is across most of the East Coast with that chill setting in. It is so chilly. You can see that northwesterly breeze kind of carving out in the clouds here, the outline of the eastern U.S. showing up in the clouds. And that's an indication of that cold air riding over the jet stream, helping those clouds lift and form and creating some of those features. Now, out west, it's another round of rain moving into Northern California, but it's the dangerous wind chill for most of the country, including out east, that will be pretty prevalent over the next several days. We'll start with this afternoon at 1 o'clock, and you can see the below zero wind chill showing up here in pink and purple, diving down in through most of the Midwest, even portions of New Jersey by the time we get to tomorrow morning. So, actual air temperatures down below zero, wind chill even colder than that. Yeah, it stays really cold throughout the rest of the week with another shot coming in for Thursday. So if you're commuting into the city tomorrow, you're waking up in New Jersey on your Thursday morning, it will feel incredibly cold. We get another round on Friday as the core of the Arctic air moves down across the south and stays there for the next several days. We don't see this cold quit through the weekend, and that's the concern with this upcoming potential weekend system. We've got more details on what to expect and what the latest runs are with the computer models. We'll show you those coming up in our next weather update, Ken.
All right, Mike, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. Very chilly, 21 degrees northern New Jersey, 11 in Trenton. So again, inland, much colder than it is as you get closer to the shore. And looking at some traffic issues, we have problems right now this is in, I guess that this would be the area of Cedar Grove, if I'm correct. So we have Route 46 westbound. There's a crash reported right now, and that's causing some problems. This is near Route 3 in that vicinity. According to police, that crash is on blocking the right lane and the right shoulder. Frantically looking for the update for it. Here it is. All right. So this is Route 3, Little Falls, they're saying. It's Little Falls Township. So just be aware of that. There's also a water main break now on Route 1 in both directions south of Woodbridge Avenue, Edison. All lanes are closed. And we have a snow removal operation going on 14th Street westbound from Marin Boulevard in Jersey City to Jersey Avenue. The center lane is closed there right now. Let folks take care of that, obviously. Let's see, we have a Holland Tunnel, overheight tractor trailer at the Holland South Tunnel eastbound on the Jersey side. That is blocking the left lane. We never like to hear that at this early hour, so that's a problem. And the Garden State Parkway disabled vehicle, local lanes northbound south of exit 1. Of course, it just reset as I'm saying this. I wish they could fix that. All right, so this is south of exit sorry, folks, it keeps resetting. 109, disabled vehicle, Garden State Parkway, local lanes, northbound south of exit 109 in Middletown. The right lane is blocked. Right now, the Hudson River crossings, Holland Tunnel, again, we have that disabled overheight tractor trailer in one of the tubes. The Lincoln is only 25 minutes in. GWB upper and lower level, we take a look right now. We see a little foggy shot there. But nonetheless moving. That's a good thing that we see it moving. But it is nonetheless something that if you can, please try to avoid that. We go over to California now. Take a look at what we have there in West Valley. There's a traffic collision on it's State Route 118 West by Havenhurst Avenue. Again, that is 118 by Havenhurst Avenue in West Valley. And we have a collision also in Antelope Valley on East Avenue at 150th. East Avenue at 150th. 5 minutes past the hour, the nation's huge winter storm was also deadly. At least 16 deaths have been attributed to the weather nationwide. Over 820,000 customers remain without power, mostly in the Deep South, where there was severe icing, and travel chaos continues with thousands of flight cancellations. Meanwhile, folks in the Garden State are gradually shoveling out, but the temperatures remain bitter cold. On New Jersey's Laura Jones, braving that cold right now, joining us live from central New Jersey in Lambertville with more. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Ken. There's a lot to be grateful for because we did not have a lot of issues with power outages throughout New Jersey. So that is really something to be grateful for. A lot of schools in this area, they're on a delayed opening. There might be some schools closed. The main roads are looking pretty good. And in Lambertville, I know that they were reporting that they were able to clear a lot of the roads, a lot of parking lots. But one of the things you need to be careful about, even just here looking at the driveway, is patches like this. These are really slippery, whether you're walking or even you're driving. The cars, you can easily spin out. So when people are, getting back to their routine and they're saying, okay, the major roads are good, you got to still be careful on your neighborhood roads, on those exit ramps. Those can be really tricky and cars can easily spin out. Another issue that people might want to keep in mind as the temperatures plunge, people are probably feeling a little sore this morning for all the shoveling they've been doing. Aches and pains and sprains and such. But the other issue, as a reporter covering this for so many years, when the temperature plunges this deep down and their homes are cold, there's an issue of carbon monoxide that you want to be thinking about. Even when you're warming up your cars, make sure that the snow is cleared out so carbon monoxide isn't coming back in and filling the air. People oftentimes will use their stoves, they'll use other things to help supplement the heat, and that can lead to fire, carbon monoxide poisoning. So definitely issues to be thinking about as the temperatures continue to stay so cold. Generally speaking, though, main roads in this area are looking really good. Our area has a 2-hour delay for school, so, take that extra time and, be really careful, really slow going on the roads, and just take it easy. I know a lot of people also, they might have gotten their driveways plowed, but then there are these big, you can still see this, where the plows come through, and then this makes it really hard to move through there. And people think, oh, well, it'll be easy to shovel. Not necessarily. So those are some of the other points to be thinking about. We're out of the emergency, more into cleanup. So I think a lot of people are taking it slow. It's still very calm here. I've got my son, he's still inside sleeping. I don't have to wake him up for another hour or so. So he's going to enjoy this 2-hour delay for school.
Good deal. Sometimes it's good when Mother Nature forces us to just slow down and take it easy, right? All right, Laura Jones, let me let you go get some warmth yourself. Thank you so much for that report from Lambertville. We appreciate you. It is
Thanks, Ken.
7:08 right now. You bet. Rising tensions in Minneapolis as an ICE agent gets his finger bitten off by rioters, and there's now evidence of an organized network of agitators who summon rioters whenever ICE agents show up. And the network may actually be run by people who work in Minnesota government. Meanwhile, rioters continue demanding that ICE agents leave the city, something President Trump says he will make happen if leaders cooperate and release dangerous criminals who are illegal aliens to ICE custody, something that now Governor Walz says he may be considering. So there may be some calm end to this. For now, agitators continue making threats after the fatal shooting of an armed ICU nurse this weekend. The U.S. Border Patrol shooting of 37-year-old nurse Alex Pretty has forced questions about use of force. ICE agents, however, are empowered under the Constitution's Supremacy Clause. 7 people are dead and one seriously hurt after the crash of a private plane in Maine. The jet crashed while taking off from Bangor International Airport Sunday while the storm was in full swing. The FAA says the cause of the crash not yet known, although the weather may have contributed. Bangor Airport was closed, the incident under investigation. The storm caused 20,000 flight cancellations. The Pentagon is planning to integrate Elon Musk's Grok AI chatbot into its internal military networks alongside other AI technologies. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth pointed out the need for the computer intelligence for defense operations. The move comes amid controversy over Grok's public behavior, including generating inappropriate content. raising concerns about safety and ethics in military settings. Closure for a family in Israel more than 2 years since their loved one, Ron Gavili, was kidnapped to Gaza and killed by Hamas terrorists. Gavili's remains were finally identified and returned to family members. This completes the first phase of the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, which included the release of all living and dead hostages. The next phase of the truce will involve the disarmament of Hamas. Plans for a long-term reconstruction in Gaza include President Trump's Board of Peace, now expected to move forward. Time for cuteness. Cue the eagle cam. You ready for this? This is adorable. Look at this. Hello, look up at us. Look up. Come on, Mama. Mama Eagle's chilly, I guess, up there right now. Bald eagles, Jackie and Shadow, laid their first egg of 2026. I feel like we're being very invasive here. They they laid their first egg of 2026 in the San Bernardino National Forest. The two are taking turns caring for the egg. Jackie may actually lay additional eggs. It's up to her, as bald eagles can lay 1 to 5 eggs every 3 to 5 days. Yeah, there we go. Hi. What a beautiful bird. Look at that. This is live. They're streaming it live on Facebook, by the way. This is just amazing. Jackie, by the way, laid several eggs apparently in previous years, with most chicks surviving, very few don't. She's very healthy. A nonprofit group known as Friends of Big Bear Valley set up that camera and they're maintaining it. I wonder if she gets SAG-AFTRA union wages. She is technically being broadcast all over the country. Nonetheless, it's beautiful that we get to see that majestic animal with that beautiful little egg. So people all over the country and all over the world now are watching for that egg to hatch. It's going to be the most famous chick on the planet. It is coming up on 13 minutes past the hour. When we return, breaking up may be hard to do, but sometimes it's necessary. We'll speak with a dating expert all about it. You'll want to check in on that. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will return with your full forecast for both the East Coast and the West Coast. Still bitter cold temperatures in New Jersey and New York, and on the West Coast in California. Not so bad, although it's 48 degrees there right now. I'm sure they think it's very cold. And we will take your calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. You're watching Mornings with Ken Rosato. We're now live on the East Coast and the West Coast. Stay warm if you're in the East Coast and have another cup of coffee. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
And welcome back to Mornings with Ken Rosato for your Tuesday live in New Jersey and New York. And now we welcome Los Angeles at 15 minutes past the hour. We'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the forecast near you.
This weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts, serving all of New Jersey with 13 locations.
Quite a disparity in temperature between central New Jersey inland and northeastern New Jersey as you get toward the Hudson River. I'm noticing it's about a 3 or 4 degree difference. I know that doesn't sound like a whole ton of a lot, but nonetheless, there is a substantial difference as you get closer to the Hudson River, I noticed.
Sure. I mean, when it's this cold, you see those ice, flows working their way down the river, and that's going to be a concern, especially throughout this week, probably impacting some ferry service as we head into Friday, with temperatures not getting even above freezing over the next several days. So it's that persistent northwesterly breeze promoting all of that cold air to work on in and make it feel really chilly over the next several days. We stay below the freezing mark at least through the weekend. Want to point out up toward Boston, there's a ground stop. The rest of the area airports showing minor delays, and even down through Philly, it's just the cold air and a little bit of a breeze this morning, right down through DC. All these airports showing green. So the important part of the cold is how deep it extends down into the south. Yes, it's wintertime. We get our cold here in New Jersey, but say you wanted to go, I don't know, Tampa, down toward the west coast of Florida. Look at how deep that cold is, all the way down as far south as Lake Okeechobee. Those where the freezing temperatures will set up throughout the rest of this week. And yes, it stays frosty and freezing along the Gulf states, right even down through Houston and over to Brownsville, Texas. So much cold weather as that freezing air makes its way right down to the Gulf Coast. The extreme exception is the furthest part south of southeastern Florida. Our forecast points to a whole lot of cold air continuing, but there is that next potential of a winter storm, a classic nor'easter that sits just offshore beginning Saturday night. You see it developing here where they typically develop and work their way to the north and east. What's different about this storm as opposed to the storm we just had is that it's a cutoff low, meaning that it's vertically stacked through the atmosphere and is a very powerful and slow moving system. The storm we had 2 days ago was a fast mover. It boogied out of here. It was done snowing in 12 hours. This one is one that kind of lingers offshore and takes its time. So if the track moves 50 to 100 miles west, and again, we're still more than 100 hours away in forecasting terms from moving in, that will make a big difference in terms of snowfall. So the track will determine how much snow we get potentially this weekend, because the storm speed is going to be very slow and it's going to be a powerful one. So it's one to watch for Saturday night into all day Sunday. Very similar timing to the one we just had, just the speed is a little different, Ken.
This is almost eerily identical. Again, we talked about this yesterday about patterns, and this is falling
Mm-hmm.
right into this pattern. So I'm going to get out of Dodge for the next like 6 weekends. I'll be in Hawaii. I hope the signal is good. And I'll be broadcasting live from Waikiki.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Aloha, oi, aloha, oi. All right, sir. Thank you very much. We
Got the
appreciate it. It
flower above the
is,
ear.
yeah, a little A on. That's the way to do it. A little Hawaiian shirt, nothing but a big
Mm-hmm.
smile on my face. All right, sir. We'll check back. It is 11 degrees in Trenton, and it is 13 degrees now in northern New Jersey. In terms of traffic right now in the Northeast here in New Jersey, we have a disabled vehicle on the Garden State Parkway, northbound south of exit 145, I-280 in East Orange. The left lane is blocked. Pam, if you could bring up the I-78 cam, you can see there is let's say, yeah, you see right in the middle of your screen, they did have a tighter shot a little while ago, but you could see there is an incident there in the middle of the screen, a crash. This is I-78 local lanes westbound, east of exit 48, Route 24 west in Springfield. Left lane of 3 lanes closed. We have a disabled bus now reported on the Jersey Turnpike Eastern Spur northbound, just north of interchange 15E, which is 1 and 9 in Newark, with the right lane blocked. And we also have a crash on the Turnpike entering the interchange 9 area. That's let's see, interchange 9, that's Route 18, East Brunswick. The toll lane is blocked by entry lane 6, they're saying. So that's one of the side entries you come in on. So people in New Brunswick would know what we're talking about there. Also beware of a water main break, US 1, both directions south of Woodbridge Ave and Edison. All lanes are closed. And your approaches to the Hudson River. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I forgot to tell you about Route 46. This is a big one. Crash on 46 westbound west of Route 3 Little Falls. Left lane is closed. So beware of that because that always gets bogged down even without a crash. The Hudson River crossings right now, there is an oversized, overheight truck stuck in one of the tubes at the Holland Tunnel. That's causing big delays now. It's 35 to 40 crossing into Manhattan at the Holland. Lincoln Tunnel's only 25 to 30. GWB upper and lower levels, not bad at all. I know this looks heavy, because we have something you see in that left lane of the lower level. That's actually only going to cost you 25 to 30, in which for an average weekday is not bad at all. As we settle into 2026, a lot of people are taking a hard look at their relationships. And for many, this year is about clarity, realizing when comfort has turned into burnout and when values no longer align and when staying feels harder than leaving. To help us break down the signs that it may be time to move on, we say good morning to Emma Haythorne, who is the dating expert at Seeking.com. Good morning, Emma. I want to make sure, is it Hawthorne or Haythorne? Forgive me.
It's Hawthorne.
Hawthorne. It was 50-50. I even put a note to ask you, and I forgot to ask beforehand. So excuse me, Emma.
You got it.
Emma, please tell us what are some relationship red flags that people often overlook?
Yeah, so, we're all reevaluating our relationships in 2026. It's the beginning of the year. So standards are changing. They're raising. People are looking more critically at what they actually want out of these relationships. What are they bringing us? There's less fear of being single. So a lot of the sort of focus is going towards, is someone supporting my goals? Are they displaying kind of an insecurity when you talk about the things that you're excited about? Do they not picture the same 5-year plan as you? If you find that there are these small inconsistencies, and maybe someone is just not aligned with you, or maybe you have actually outgrown them and your plan has changed. When those things start to kind of combine, then it's probably time to leave. There's definitely a big difference between a rough patch and finding someone that you're with embarrassing, and a relationship that is absolutely needs to end.
Emma, I have encountered, and I know this is just anecdotal, so many people who were with their high school sweethearts for 30 years and they're done. And I ask, and I've had these conversations, and it sort of becomes the conversation of, this was the first person I met. We were friends. It was sort of a comfort thing. I was with this person, we got married, but they never explored. They never realized, well, maybe this is a good friend, but not your compatible life mate. And so they stayed with that person for a number of years. And I know what you're talking about today. You're talking about it could be a peaceful breaking. It doesn't have to be, I hate you and I want a divorce and we have to sue each other for $1 million. It could be a very peaceful thing. Is it true that when for one side that sense of stagnation occurs, it's likely true on the other side as well?
Yeah, I think you're actually probably going to be more aligned on that than you think. If a relationship is not right for you, it's definitely not right for the other person either. That alignment when you're both on the same wavelength, that's, you're going to know what that is. You're going to feel that incredible admiration for that person. You're going to feel fired up for the next years. Like, what's coming. You see them at your side. But, when it's often breakups are more mutual than we think, because, they need something else too. You're not right for them and they're not right for you.
Mm-hmm. So it could end up being something that maybe the conversation needs to be broached and either side is waiting for the other to start it. So why not find that right moment? Is it that a lot of people are afraid because it's not comfortable, if you will, the sense of insecurity of not knowing what would happen if that conversation is broached? It just keeps people from ever having it.
Yeah, you know what? We get comfortable in our routines. Another person can become routine for you as well. And what I'm finding is that a lot of people they've gotten so comfortable in this relationship that they've found that their standards for themselves and for their partner have become lowered. And then they believe that is all they deserve because that's all they can get. They can't do better. They probably have a little private dream of like, oh, the fairy tale. But a lot of people learn through, a long time with one person, they think that that's all they can have, that they can't dream bigger. But in 2026, we're seeing a change there. People are starting to look past that relationship and think, oh, maybe I actually can do better, and maybe it's better for me and for them.
Mhm. Emma, I know three different people who had such amicable divorces. They had divorce parties, and post-divorce, I'm not kidding. My friend, I'll even say his name. No secret, my friend Andrew. I won't say his last name, but my friend Andrew got divorced. His wife remarried. They have an adult son, and they're all friends. They've even vacationed together as big groups because they just realize, you know what, the relationship part of it is over, but this is a person I love as a friend. It's okay. I'm glad that you found somebody else who makes you happy. That's the way it really should be. And if you truly love the person, you know, I mean, Sting sang about it, right? If you love somebody, set them free. I think isn't that a healthy? When I see Andrew's relationship, I think, wow, people on the planet should be jealous of this. This is a wonderful thing to be peaceful and everybody's happy.
Yeah, I mean, you can never tell what's going to happen when you do break up with someone, of course, but I think as two grown-up adults who kind of come to an understanding that this is not for them, there's no reason why you can't be friends with that person. They've helped you grow. You know, you've taken things from that relationship that are so important, that you've learned what you do not want necessarily, and you know, you've spent that time with someone, you cared about them, but you've also taken those learnings and decided to leave the relationship, and they've given you the clarity in order to do that. So we believe that like breakups should be celebrated. It's not a terrible, terrible, scary thing. It should be something that sort of boosts you into the next phase of your life.
Emma, talk about seeking.com. How does it work, and how can somebody find maybe someone who's more compatible for them?
Yeah, so Seeking.com is a luxury dating platform. We encourage people to go on there and find someone who truly aligns with their vision for the future and with what they actually want. So everybody comes onto Seeking knowing what it is that they're looking for in a relationship. It's very much dating with clarity. And we're going to be encouraging breakups in the coming year. And there's a campaign around that that I can't say much more on, but there will be more information coming in.
Well, I think look, it's a healthy way to do it, healthy way to look at it. And the one thing, if I can say, having looked at those apps, never used it because I'm in a relationship 27 years, 26 years. I'm very blessed right now. But be honest, right? Don't float unreal or lack of reality when you put your information down. Be 100% honest if you want to find the right person. And I think too many people aren't. But just be honest and you'll find somebody perfect for your life. Emma Hawthorne, dating expert at seeking.com. I appreciate you coming on this morning. Best of luck with seeking.com. Sounds wonderful.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to meet
All
you.
right. It is 28 minutes past the hour now. And when we come back, are you hosting folks for the big game? We'll talk about it.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Very good morning. It's 30 minutes past the hour, Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Welcome back to Mornings with Ken Rosato. We're live on the East Coast and the West Coast. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the forecast near you.
This weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts, serving all of New Jersey with 13 locations.
Mike, I went upstairs to look outside just to check the door. I say upstairs because I'm in a basement studio, and I just opened the door for a second. I slammed it
Mm,
shut. I was going to get under
yeah.
my desk and shake. I was so cold.
When you see the frost on the outline of the weather stripping, that's how you know it's cold. Yes, taking the garbage out this morning was not a good idea. Should have done it last night when it was still in the 30s. Here we are with teens and single-digit wind chills this morning. So cold. The other problem is finding a place to put the garbage because there's so much snow piled up on the street. Here we go with the temperatures that are nice and chilly across New Jersey. We'll show you those coming up in just a bit. As far as how much cold weather you can expect, there will be record cold moving into New Jersey over the next several days. This record cold you see here over DC and through Baltimore and down through Virginia is working in this week, as well as most of Texas. And we know this is an issue, especially with the amount of cold that comes in with Texas. Doesn't really mix well with their power grid. Remember what happened last time. So with all of the cold weather that reinforces over the next several days, this is polar vortex, stratospheric polar vortex, making its way down into the northeast with another round of cold weather today. We'll likely get some flurries across New Jersey for a brief time this afternoon, maybe for a few hours. Could actually put down a little bit of a coating, so get ready for that. And that'll happen throughout this the end of today. Then beyond that, watching that system that may form later this week down through the Carolinas. And the best chance of giving snow is to portions of the mid-Atlantic. I don't know how much snow we'll see here across New Jersey as that system works up the East Coast. It's simply too cold for that moisture to work in, and that dense cold air pushes the whole system out to sea. Now, if that track changes, yeah, we could be looking at some accumulating snow, but right now it's more of a problem for like North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. That's how far south this cold extends. Out west, you have some clouds working in over the next day. We start off nice and clear right now, but by the time we get into this afternoon and to tonight, likely see some of those clouds take over with a little bit of a marine layer and then clear up by the end of this week. We'll talk more about that West Coast forecast coming up with your next weather update, Ken, in just a few minutes.
Right, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Temperature right now is, 11 degrees in Trenton. It is 16 degrees now in northeastern New Jersey, and it's 14 degrees in Vineland. In terms of traffic for the East Coast, we look at things happening right now. We have an overturned vehicle on 287 southbound by exit 39, Route 10 in Hanover Township. The camera's out. A lot of the cameras are out, and it's freezing cold, and they're full of ice secretion, so they're not getting repaired anytime soon. But this is again 287 southbound, exit 39, Route 10 in Hanover, right lane of 4 lanes and the ramp closed. We have a crash on 78 local lanes. This we could show you. It's a wide shot, unfortunately. There you go. You can kind of see that. They zoomed in a little bit for us. And so this is a crash on 78 local lanes westbound, and this is just east of exit 48 by Route 24 west in Springfield Township. The left lane, the 3 lanes closed. That looks like the right lane. Looks like they may have taken it over the shoulder since that report came out. We have an overturned vehicle now, 287 southbound at exit 39. We also have, sorry, they just updated my screen. We also have an incident, Route 3 and 46 in Little Falls. It's a crash. It's been there for about an hour. That's causing a lot of traffic, so try to avoid that. The cameras are out there as well. So you can imagine that is a lot of the case for much of the New York, New Jersey area now. Disabled bus on the New Jersey Turnpike right now. This is on the eastern spur, northbound, north of interchange 15E, 1 and 9 in Newark. The right lane is blocked. And a crash on the turnpike entering interchange 9, Route 18, East Brunswick. The toll lane is blocked. And let's see, those are the majority there. Oh, we have the Atlantic City Expressway now getting some road treatment. Salt and sanding, et cetera, because of all the ice. So please be careful with that. In terms of the West Coast, we can tell you about what's happening. California Highway Patrol giving us some information here. Traffic collision right now on I-710 by 15. Excuse me, by I-5. Still learning California roads, folks. There is a traffic collision there, and that is in East LA. In Antelope Valley, we have a collision, unknown injuries at East Avenue O. at 150th Street East. In terms back to New Jersey to New York, the Hudson River crossings still have that overheight tractor trailer in the Holland Tunnel in the left tube. That's causing some delays, about 35 minutes. In the Lincoln Tunnel, rather, is about 25 to 30. GWB upper and lower levels, very heavy now. So we're talking 35 to 40 minutes in. Upper level on the right, lower level on the left. It is 35 minutes past the hour. The Super Bowl just a few weeks away. And whether you are watching for the football, the commercials, or this year's highly anticipated halftime show featuring Bad Bunny, one thing everybody agrees on is there better be some good food. To help us host the ultimate game day party with bold flavors and crowd-pleasing dishes, we're joined this morning by Chef Fernando Deza, who is Executive Chef and Product Development Manager at Goya Foods. He's sharing Puerto Rican recipes inspired by the big game and Bad Bunny's halftime performance that are guaranteed to be a hit. We say good morning to Chef Deza.
Good morning. How are you guys?
I'm good. Good to have you on. Yo puedo hablar español también. I used to live in Miami. I used to work right by the Goya, the main Goya headquarters by Miami International Airport. I used to pass it for work every day of my life for years. So I know your company and I love Goya. God bless Goya. Big fan.
Well, thank you.
So no, and I'm also married to a half Puerto Rican. So I know.
Oh, awesome.
Yo puedo cocinar pernil como nadie más. I could cook like anybody else by pernil. Absolutely. Debes hacerlo así. So tell me about the big game. It's one of the biggest entertaining days of the year. When you're cooking for a big crowd, what kinds of dishes work best for a big group of people for game day?
I mean, big game is the biggest night of the year. Everybody's watching. Everybody want to have a nice drink and good food. We start with a nice, refreshing drink. And in Puerto Rico, as your wife knows, we always drink rum. And with rum, we do a rum punch. Typical drink from Puerto Ricans is a combination of guava, Goya guava nectar, coconut water, rum, amazing. And then also some appetizers, some appetizers like, a chips, plantain chips, chicharrones, with a little pico de gallo, guacamole, and, with a lot of flavor.
Yeah, and the nice thing is Goya has all of this stuff made. There's so much of it that's made, or the main products. You can get the products in almost any store, whether it's a gringo store, I could say that, or it's a Latin market. You could find Goya Foods everywhere. It's the biggest manufacturer of Latino and Hispanic foods in the United States, and it's actually one of the biggest food manufacturers and distributors in the entire country. So I know you could find Goya everywhere. Now, there's a lot of excitement around Bad Bunny headlining the halftime show. How did that inspire your menu?
Well, first of all, it's 90 years of Goya bringing the authentic Latin flavors into the American kitchens. And we're super happy to be here today showcasing this amazing food that Puerto Rican heritage has. And for us, it's amazing. I'm born and raised in the island of Puerto Rico. My family's from the West Coast. And for me to bring these dishes to you and you guys across America to see it, it's about heritage, about pride. It's about showcasing what we have. And with our ingredients, we create these three different dishes that we have that are typical in Latin cuisine in Puerto Rico. So we have some alcapurrias. Is yuca fritter stuffed with pork, then with a little bit of cilantro aioli. We have some tostones, as you know, so typical, with some bistec cebollado and avocado salsa. And then we have some tripleta. Tripleta is a traditional sandwich in Puerto Rico, but what we did, we stuffed it in an empanada and we serve it with mayo ketchup and a guava rum sauce. Amazing.
You're killing me. My God, I'm dying over here. I'm so hungry.
It's easy.
I know. You know what? You know what's funny? One of my favorite things in the world, and I can make a meal of it, is just a big bowl of plátano maduro. Plátano maduro, for people who don't realize, it's like the equivalent of American. It's like baked bananas, but they're plantains. And if you roast them in the oven, they get super sweet. And you can get Goya plátano maduro frozen that are all made. You just put it in the oven for 15, 20 minutes, and it's done. Everybody will go crazy. Am I wrong?
You don't have to peel them. You don't have to put it in the oven like in the old days. Put it in the oven to let it ripe. They already come cooked. Put in the microwave in the oven. Then ready to go. Enjoy.
Delicious. And then, of course, we have yuca frita. How do you make yuca frita at home? Because there's
we have yuca frita here. Actually,
go ahead. You have it.
We have yuca frita here, but I mean, if you know, yuca is very tough. So you have to peel the yuca, then cut them, boil them, and then fry it. In this case, we already have it. frozen in a bag, take them out, put in the air fryer or fry it, and it's ready to go. Super easy.
I promise. If anybody likes French fries, if you taste yuca frita, which is fried yuca, you will never go back to French fries again. Never, ever, ever. Yuca frita is the best.
Amazing. With some aioli, like this cilantro aioli, it's amazing with yuca frita. Or you can get the grated yuca, like we did here for these alcapurrias, and mix it with some ingredients that we have in our Goya recipes online. And we make this alcapurria that is perfect street food in Puerto Rico.
Delicious. Now, I know mofongo is not necessarily something you're going to make for a big Super Bowl party, but nonetheless, I'm sure it's delicious.
I mean, you can make some bolitas de mofongo. It's the same thing. Just make the mofongo, make it in a bowl, and then bread and then fry it. You get bolitas de mofongo with some aioli. It's really good too.
My God, I got to come to you. I got to come to your party. I tell you, chef, I'm going crazy here. So now,
Listen,
if somebody
anytime.
is, oh, absolutamente. For somebody who's hosting the first time, what mistakes can be avoided? Because I know people sometimes try to do too much, right?
But it's never too much. Like we have here, we have so much food here. Just to concentrate what you want to do, and a combination of flavors that we have here. A little bit of everything for everybody to come to your party. Remember, friends and family come to the party. They want to have a good time. So combination of of proteins and dishes that would cater to everybody. If you need ideas, I'm telling you, go to goya.com. You're gonna find all those recipes there from different parts of the world. Appetizers, main courses, perfect for the game. So go to the Goya website. You're gonna find a lot of recipes that are gonna be perfect for the game.
I absolutely love it. Goya is fantastic. It has been part of America for decades, and Puerto Rico, for those who don't realize, is part of the United States. Proud Americans all, and such a great contribution to our cuisine scene for the United States. Chef Fernando Deza, Executive Chef and Product Development Manager at Goya Foods. Enjoy the big game. We thank you so much for coming on this morning. Please come back again.
Thank you, Ken.
You bet, chef. Wow. I am starving right now. It is coming up on 43 minutes past the hour. When we come back, meteorologist Mike Favetta returns with your full forecast, and we're taking your calls at 888-658-0234. Give us your best pernil recipe. You're watching Mornings with Ken Rosato live on the East Coast and the West Coast. Don't go away.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
And a very good morning. Welcome back to Mornings with Ken Rosato. I'm Ken Rosato. It is good to be with you on your Tuesday. If you are in California, you're waking up in Los Angeles to 47 degrees at 4:45 a.m. On the East Coast right now, 7:45 a.m. We wish it could be that mild. It is a lot chillier. We'll talk about the forecast with meteorologist Mike Favetta in just a moment.
This weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts, serving all of New Jersey with 13 locations.
All right, Mike. Well, it's come up 1 degree. I'm very impressed. We've come up one whole degree on the East Coast here. So California actually went down a degree. They're down to 47. So they're
You know,
freezing, I'm sure.
considering the sun is up now across the East Coast, and it'll do a little bit to warm us, maybe a few more degrees, squeeze out a few of those, but there's also a few snow flurries in the forecast for today across New Jersey. That happens late this morning into the early afternoon. Out west, looking beautiful with clear sky up and down. Southern California, you see a little bit of that cloud cover return as you have a beautiful ridge keeping you nice and warm over the next several days. Out east, a very different story. See this little circle here over northern sections of Canada and even north of the Great Lakes? That is the stratospheric polar vortex working its way down across the East Coast, providing that cold weather even down to Tampa. Frosty temperatures there into tonight and tomorrow. And then as we head into Thursday, you start to see it flatten out a little bit. So by Friday, I think we'll be done with the worst of the cold. But into this upcoming weekend, it's still very chilly as we head throughout the weekend. And then, of course, we have our storm potential. More on that in just a bit. First, want to talk about the little bit of a marine layer that comes in by tomorrow for Southern California. You see Wednesday, 11 a.m. Some of those winds coming in off of the east. And then more of a northwesterly wind, drying you back out, bringing back the sunshine for Thursday and into Friday and the upcoming weekend. So a lovely forecast there beyond just about a day of clouds for tomorrow. Back out east, you see with this cold weather that comes in, it's another cold front that promotes our little bit of snow flurry activity this afternoon. We stay chilly, and with that cold core arriving for Thursday into Friday, coldest we've seen yet. Afternoon highs probably not getting out of the teens by Thursday and Friday afternoon. That is serious cold. It stays chilly for the next several days, even into this weekend and through February 10th. Now we're talking about the middle of February, keeping all of that cold air upon us across the east. Out west, it stays mild with that warmer than average weather, and we have equal chances of seeing dry and rain. So overall, a very cold forecast ahead, and that cold, Ken, does not quit across the east, at least for the next 2 weeks.
Look at you, Frosty the Snowman. All right, we appreciate it. It is what it is. By the way, I already booked the flight south for next Tuesday. I'll be gone 9 days. Bye-bye. I'm
Amazing.
done. I've had it. Yesterday, by the way, the wonderful complex where I am, they
Yes.
because I had a car in the driveway, even though there was like 20 feet behind it, 20 feet in
Oh
front,
boy.
they don't want to shovel that. So I was out for
Gosh.
2 hours, chapped
Oh
hands,
my gosh.
shoveling. Oh, and you can't bring in outside shovelers only if it's under 3 inches. Can we add more rules? So if it's 20 feet, you got to shovel yourself if you miss them. But if it's under 3 inches, you could bring in somebody else. I don't understand who's on the committee with their bravado sense of we'll take charge and whatever. I give
Yeah.
up. I give up. Back to a house, never a townhouse again, ever. All right, Mike. Thank you very much.
You bet.
749 East Coast, 449 West. Let's take a look at this. We got a lot going on. Let's New Jersey Turnpike right now. We have a disabled bus southbound entering interchange Falls Bridge in Linden. Partial ramp block. This is causing some residual delays, as you can see on the right side of your screen there. We have an overturned vehicle on 287. Unfortunately, this is out of camera shot because a lot of the cameras are out due to the weather, the cold weather. So this is southbound on 287 by Route 10 in Hanover, 2 right lanes of the 4 lanes, and the ramp all out because of that. We have a water main break, Route 45, both directions on Route 49. It says at Route 49. I'm sorry, in Salem, all lanes are closed. So that's 45 at 49. It's not giving me a town. I wish I knew the town, but oh no, in Salem, it is giving me a town. I just missed it. Sorry about that. And then on the, let's see, we have another issue on the Turnpike. This is a crash on the New Jersey Turnpike at interchange 9, Route 18. and that's a crash involving 2 lanes there. Just be aware of that. Water main break on Route 1, both directions south of Woodbridge and Edison, all lanes closed. The Hudson River crossings, Holland Tunnel is back to its normal slow self, but nonetheless, the vehicle that was stuck in the tube is now cleared. So it's only 20 to 25 at the Holland. Lincoln is also about 25 to 30. GWB upper and lower levels, heavy. There it is, upper level on the right, lower on the left. Now we're up to 45 minutes crossing into Manhattan. It is what it is. Give yourselves extra travel time today, folks. 7:50 is our time, and once again, New Jersey is to blame for the injury of a child at the hands of an illegal, as the liberals in Trenton insist on keeping us a so-called sanctuary state. Meet Hernando Garcia Morales. This stellar example of humanity is charged with throwing a rock at a moving school bus carrying third graders on the New Jersey Turnpike. Yes, he opted to pose like that. Clearly, there's some kind of mental thing going on. But for years, officials think he's fine. Let him live among everybody else. Who are we as New Jersey officials to do anything to take this stellar example of humanity into custody or put him in some kind of a mental facility or just deport him because he's a Mexican national and he's here illegally since 2007? No, let's leave him to live among us so he could throw a rock at a school bus full of third graders. In the process, a little girl was struck in the head by a rock that he threw, and by the flying glass. She got sharded cuts all over her face and a huge skull fracture. It's about the size of a quarter. She required a plate in her head for the rest of her life, and she had to have one of her sinuses removed. Garcia Morales was ordered to remain behind bars. Shocker. After a rare and random act of law enforcement by one of the liberal New Jersey judges finally realizing, oops, we screwed up. The Mexican national allegedly confessed to police that he hurled the rock at the bus as it was taking students from a Jewish class trip back on January 4th. He said he didn't like these vehicles making noise. Now get this, Garcia Morales was charged with burglary back in 2006, but they let him stay. He's been protected by leftist Democrats in Trenton. Oh, and police say Garcia Morales is also admitting to 8 other similar rock throwing incidents, including throwing rocks at 3 police officers. His defense attorney argues he should be left alone and treated as somebody with a mental illness. Okay, let's have him treated for his mental illness back in frickin' Mexico, from whence he came legally and where he is currently a citizen. He is not a citizen here. I'm about to have a mental incident. If I went to Mexico and had a mental breakdown, they would ship my ass back to Jersey. Why is it our responsibility to treat that for his mental illness here in the United States? If he were deported 20 years ago like he should have been, and by the way, he was arrested under George W. Bush, a liberal Republican asshole, that young girl would be fine today. Every Democrat in the state of New Jersey has to look themselves in the mirror and be forced to explain why an innocent little girl should be forced to have her life permanently altered at the hands of a mentally ill, illegal alien just because you are championing some moral cause. Every New Jersey Democrat should be sued by the parents of this child. And if you live in New Jersey and you're planning your retirement, chances are your retirement will be elsewhere in another state, because it's too damn freaking expensive to live in the Garden State thanks to the liberals, and unnecessarily so. A new Care Scout study ranks New Jersey as the worst state in the entire country to retire in 2026 based on affordability, healthcare, and quality of life. Social Security benefits will rise by 2.8% in 2026, but Medicare Part B premiums are rising by 10%. So it's going to cost you 4 to 5 times more for your healthcare than what you're getting in income. The state's cost of living score is high. Long-term care Medicaid spending per senior relatively low. Bottom line, the stats are clear. It is cheaper and many would say more pleasant to get your ass out of here and go retire in just about any other state but Jersey. Sorry. You want to see change? Try voting anything but Democrat and you will see change. Closure for a family in Israel more than 2 years since their loved one, Ron Gavili, was kidnapped to Gaza and killed by Hamas terrorists. Gavili's remains were finally identified and returned to family members. This completes the first phase of the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, which included the release of all living and dead hostages. The next phase of the truce will involve the disarmament of Hamas, plans for a long-term reconstruction of Gaza, including President Trump's Board of Peace now expected to move forward. 7 people are dead and 1 seriously hurt after the crash of a private plane in Maine. The jet crashed while taking off from Bangor International Airport Sunday while the storm was in full effect. The FAA says the cause of the crash not yet known, though weather obviously contributed some. Bangor Airport was closed. The incident is under investigation, and the storm caused 20,000 flight cancellations. Okay, stop what you're doing and check this out. This is cool. A guy in Chester, Morris County, cleared his driveway while sipping a latte. That's right. Tom Maloney, a YouTuber who is an electric vehicle expert, used his autonomous Yarbo snow blower on his pretty large property. Maloney says the unit worked pretty well, although it did get stuck on ice a couple of times. Hey, so did mine, and I was pushing it. He says it caused a little bit of damage. Don't know what kind of damage. It took several passes to fully clear the property, but come on, folks. He had up to 17 inches of snow in Chester. And look at this. While he was having his coffee, pointing his phone out the back window, that's what he got to watch. That alone is worth the price of admission, don't you think? I could watch this over and over and over again. That machine out there in the cold doing all the work. And listen, don't think that that's not the future right there. We know it's a matter of time. With AI exponentially increasing the rate at which we do things, manual labor and things like that, it's literally 5 to 10 years before every household will have a robot. I know you're going to say, come on, Ken. But 30 years ago, 40 years ago, did you think everyone would walk around with something like that that could do everything? Literally a phone that could do everything from take a picture to make reservations to you don't even have to press a button, just say, hey, Google, and it'll respond. Nobody knew then. They would have laughed at you if you said that that could be the case. But usually the IT experts you talk to are going to tell you there will be autonomous everything from robots to vehicles doing all this for you. Humans pretty much are going to be born to be fat and die. That's where it's headed, folks. Try to do something worthwhile in the meantime. 58 minutes past the hour. For those of you watching on LACA on the West Coast, stay tuned for your local news. If you are watching on the East Coast, ONNJ on New Jersey, we'll be right back live with New Jersey news, opinion, weather, and traffic. We thank you for watching Mornings with Ken Rosato. We'll see you again tomorrow morning, bright and early. Have a good day, folks.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
morning. It is 8 a.m. Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Welcome to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. We will take your calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. Mix of clouds and sun this morning, then just becoming cloudy later. Very cold, very windy. Highs about 20. The wind will make it feel colder than that. And bitter cold tonight. Lows in the single digits between 0 and 5 above. Oh, joy. Let's head to meteorologist Mike Favetta right after this sponsor mention with a check of the Garden State forecast.
This weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts, serving all of New Jersey with 13 locations.
I must say, Mike, it hurt my chest a little bit to say those numbers as I was tossing to you.
Well, you were kvetching about the townhome association where you couldn't get the snow and the thing. And okay, home ownership, this time of year, not all that's cracked up to be. Had the pipe freeze last night, and I'm stuck in the crawl space with the hair dryer. Plumber on the phone. Luckily, it's my wife's best friend's brother telling me how to aim the hair dryer and make sure I don't melt the pipe into. We got the water flowing again, and there was no, burst. But still, it's this cold air that causes problems. So now, like all of the TikTok videos are saying, leaving the faucet running a little bit, at least for the next week. Yeah, at least for the next week.
It's funny. What's funny?
What the plumber said. Yeah,
I have a drip in my vanity in the bathroom that I've been meaning to call a plumber to come fix. Leaving it. Happy I have it.
Right.
I know the water conservation people are cringing right now. In the springtime, we'll fix it. But for now.
Oh, yeah. But no. There's you'd lose a lot more water with a burst pipe. That's for sure. But even still, I miss those days of just texting the maintenance guy, say, hey, can you come by and fix this? And then 10 minutes later, your doorbell rings. So yeah, here we are. Cold air in place. And Ken, this cold isn't quitting. It gets colder as the week goes along. 3 right now up in Sussex. 14 as your morning low in Hackensack, but it feels like 1 above in Newark at the airport. Oh, just updated to 1 in Hackensack. We're losing degrees. That's the problem. It's going in the opposite direction. Even in Long Branch, -1 and 2 in Trenton. So there's not a whole lot of wind, only, 10 to 15 miles per hour, maybe 20 down the shore. But it's that temperature change, 14 degrees colder than this time yesterday in Sussex. And you can thank the clear sky and the light winds for that throughout the overnight. So we are clear today. A lot of sunshine helping to melt the treated roadways. All the Audio Nova clinic locations back open today, closed yesterday from the state of emergency. But look at these highs today. Teens as our highs, and this is repeating itself each and every day this week with teens on tap throughout each afternoon, single digits even below 0 in the mornings, even down the shore, only getting to 23 in Toms River. Oh, adding insult to injury, there are some snow flurries in the forecast today. By the early afternoon, you could see a quick run of snow, maybe leave a quick coating with a flurry burst throughout the early afternoon. And once that pushes through, that's another cold front, so dropping the temperature another 10 to 15 degrees tonight, waking up with single-digit readings only climbing to the teens, and then negative numbers by Wednesday and Thursday morning with those chilly temperatures throughout the next few days. It just repeats itself again going through Friday. So another round of extreme cold back in the below 0 territory for Friday morning, only climbing into the upper teens as our high by Friday afternoon. 13 to 16 degrees is our high in northern New Jersey, maybe up to 19 degrees by Friday afternoon down the shore. Next few days, it just remains brutally cold with those overnight lows again, single digits, highs in the teens, coldest part of the week, Friday. So a couple more days to go before it gets better, Ken.
Couple days. In the meantime, I am getting out of Dodge. You think I'm kidding? I already booked a flight. There are some ridiculously cheap flights online right now, I think, because the airline industry, so many people like cash in their flights this week because of the storm and they decided not to fly, that I noticed a lot of airlines yesterday for the next couple of weeks, their prices are really cheap. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but just to let you know. Now I know Mike is like, Hawaii sounds good, Ken. Checking it out with the baby. Just saying. All right, sir. We'll check back. I appreciate you. It is 11 degrees in Trenton right now, 14 degrees northern New Jersey. And in terms of traffic, we have a lot of traffic. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of cameras. they're all out. We do have this one. This is on the New Jersey Turnpike with a disabled bus to report. New Jersey Turnpike, and that is southbound. Oh, everything keeps resetting on me here. Sorry. Southbound entering at interchange 13, 278 Goethals Bridge in Linden, partial ramp blocked, causing residual backups there. This is by the southern mixing bowl, by the way, we're looking at. We also have a disabled vehicle on 280 eastbound west of exit 13, Orange Street, First Street in Newark. The right shoulder is closed. We have an overturned vehicle. We do not have a camera shot for this. The camera is out. It's frozen shut. But it's an overturned vehicle on 287, and that is southbound. Reset again by exit 39, Route 10 in Hanover Township. 2 right lanes and the ramp lane closed. Water main break, Route 45, both directions. And that is by Route 49 in Salem. All lanes are closed there. And a crash on I-78 local lanes, and that is westbound just east of, sorry, it keeps resetting, just east of exit 48, Route 24 west in Springfield, the left lane closed. Atlantic City Expressway, they're reporting they're doing some road treatment, so beware of that as you head east and west. On Route 21 right now, we now have delays. There's not an accident, but a lot of volume delays. And because there's snow on the edges of the road, there's parts of Route 21 that don't have shoulders. So because of that, delays southbound from north of Passaic Street to I-280 in Newark. All lanes open again, but it's going to take you a lot of time to get down on Route 21. It's an old road. It is what it is. Your Hudson River crossings right now, the Holland and Lincoln, both 25 to 30. GWB upper and lower is going to cost you a lot more, 40 to 45, bumper to bumper, upper on the right, lower on the left. It is 8:06, and the nation's huge winter storm was also deadly. At least 16 deaths have been attributed to the weather across a number of states, including New York State. New York City lost a number of people who froze in the streets, apparently, sadly. Many of them homeless with mental illness, would not go in and heed the advice of people trying to rescue them. Over 820,000 customers remained without power, mostly in the Midwest and Deep South, where there were severe issues of icing, and travel chaos continues with thousands of flight cancellations. Meanwhile, shifting gears, some happier news, some good news for us in New Jersey. Folks in the Garden State are gradually shoveling out, but the temps remain bitter cold. On New Jersey's Laura Jones joins us live from central New Jersey, beautiful Lambertville, right across from New Hope, Pennsylvania, with more for us. Good morning to you, Laura. And you by your Pomsky friend there, is that Duke Campbell?
Doak
Doak.
Campbell.
Doak.
Yes, it's Doak
Excuse
Campbell.
me, Doak
Right,
Campbell.
Doak
Hi,
Campbell.
Doak.
Yep, named after the stadium at Florida State University where I went to college. I've got Ruby Diamond inside. She's a lab mix and she's cold. Listen, baby, it is cold outside and they say layer up, wear some fur. So I brought my own fur. my own crew. So Dope is part husky. He's a Pomsky, part husky. So he actually loves the cold, right? But a lot of dogs are not very good in the snow, or they don't like the cold. So that's a reminder for people who have animals, you know, as we shift from the emergency into still clearing things out. Be careful when you're taking your dogs out because there can be salt on the ground, certainly a lot of chunks of ice, and that can hurt your dog's paws. But when it comes to road recovery, you know, crews in the area, they have got the main thoroughfares cleared, but there is still work going on a lot of the side streets, sidewalks. So you want to make sure that you're being very careful. The sun is starting to shine. Can you see it, Ken? I feel I'm replenishing myself with the sun coming in. um, that's good news because some of the icy patches will melt, but with the cold dipping down in the evening again, that's going to make for a lot of black ice and for slippery spots. So people want to make sure they're taking it very, very easy. Schools this morning in this area, they are kind of a patchwork. Most schools are operating on a 2-hour delay. So, you know, decisions like that are made district by district. And we have many, many districts here in New Jersey. As far as it comes to the human element, as people are continuing to dig out, get back to work, get back to their routine, doctors want to make sure that you don't overdo it. Shoveling, people are still shoveling out. You have to be careful because this is really heavy. Not only do we have a lot of snow, it was covered with ice. So as you're trying to dig your cars out, start them up, de-ice them, you know, you can easily hurt yourself if you're, especially if you're not somebody who's super active all the time. And now, you know, we've had so many snows back to back. Last weekend, the weekend before, right? So people are having to get out and clear stuff a lot more. They're not necessarily used to that level of activity. When it comes to safety indoors, carbon monoxide can be an issue, especially if you have extra heaters that you're bringing in to try and stay warm. So you want to be careful about that. Another point to think about is mental health, right? People are isolated. They've been home. Some people are home by themselves, and it's incredibly isolating. Some people might be home with kids, and they're bouncing off the walls, and they need a break. So it's always good to check in on neighbors, send somebody a text just to check in to see how they're doing. Because, we talk so much about the roads, the snow totals and stuff, but what's going on inside the house is equally as important. Also, keeping your four-legged friends safe. My dog is currently just chilling right now on the street. I'll actually try and take a little move the shot. You can see. Look at him.
Aw,
He's so happy down there.
he's such a
He's just
chill
he's just
dog.
chilling. He's so chill. He's so chill until somebody drives up, and then he'll start barking quite a bit.
I love it.
But he's very chill. He loves the cold. Like I said, my other dog that is a lab mix, she doesn't like the cold. She starts to shiver, so that's why she's not out here. So when you think I was
Gotcha.
favoring one dog over the other, so that's the latest from here in Lambertville.
Thank you so much, Lori. Having been now that's a Pomsky, so it's Pom Husky. I've been a Pomeranian owner
Yeah,
for
yeah,
decades,
yeah,
and they're all part of the same. Even Huskies and Poms, they're all like
yeah,
bigger and smaller versions of the same breed. The Spits, they
yeah,
have hair
yeah.
and fur, which is why they have the multiple layers, and
Right.
so they have the fur on the inside,
Yeah.
keeping them nice and insulated, and then the hair on the outside when you feel it when you stroke them. They're beautiful animals. But yeah, you're right. My dogs loved just pomping around in the snow, no problem at all. But I had a friend who had a Chihuahua, short-haired Chihuahua. No, not so happy.
Oh, yeah.
Not so happy. So
No,
definitely.
no, the short hairs are not so happy, for sure.
By the way, there are types of salt you can buy that
Yes.
are more pet friendly with the
Oh,
all
sure.
right, with for the
Hmm.
paws. So definitely, folks, that's
Right,
what you
right.
look for.
And I don't have any salt. I it sold out before I was able to get
Oh,
my salt. So my driveway's good, but when you're going around, you don't know what's on the streetways and other people's sidewalks. So yeah, always got to be careful about that and thinking about our
good
four-legged
advice.
friends.
Absolutely. Hey, I have four legs, so there you go.
Yeah. Yes.
Sometimes that's the way I have to walk because of my arthritis. All right, Laura Jones, live in
Right.
Lambertville.
That's
Go
right.
get warm. We appreciate all your work this morning on our first anniversary
Thanks,
today,
Jen.
the first anniversary of
Oh,
our
happy
broadcast.
anniversary.
Thank you
Will there be
very much.
cake?
And there will be cake, so please stop by, and
On
we
cake day.
appreciate you being
Yes.
part of it. All right. We'll check back with
Thanks.
you another day, but today, thank you. Go get warm. It is what is it now? 11 degrees, chilly at 8:13. When we come back, the American Red Cross reporting a severe blood shortage, urging people to roll up their sleeves and donate now. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings for our first anniversary. We're coming back in 2 minutes.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, 8:15, taking your calls at 888-658-0234. A mix of clouds and sun this morning, cloudy later, windy and cold. Highs around 20, bitter cold tonight, down to 5. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the Garden State forecast.
This weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts, serving all of New Jersey with 13 locations.
Mike, my body doesn't understand 5. Could you please explain it?
Mm-hmm. It does sound like the lottery numbers. You were right the other day when you announced the temperatures. It sounds like pick 3 or pick 4. So much cold weather around. It's hard to explain. It's hard to comprehend when you just look and you see that heat cranking all night long and temperature still only makes it up to 71 in the house. I don't know. Well, with temperatures that will remain cold through this afternoon, we start off, like you mentioned, Ken, in the single digits, make our way only into the 20s across central New Jersey today, and we keep it chilly through the next several days with that temperature dropping even more day by day. It's another round of cold air. Yes, it actually gets colder over the next several days. And when that front pushes through this afternoon, we get a quick passing flurry, maybe at worst leave a coating across northern New Jersey, but the core of the cold air will be upon us for Friday morning. That's why morning lows start off in the single digits and below 0 across many locations, especially away from the influence of the ocean. And when you go down to Trenton and you have -3 as a wake-up temperature, yeah, that's just brutal. By the afternoon, teens at best, and that's the problem. We stay so cold even into this weekend. So Friday night plans, if you have them, it's going to be cold going into this weekend. And then, of course, we have our threat for some possible snow at the coast that would likely shape up throughout the day Sunday. It's all track dependent, and we're still a little early to give the timing of the track. But whatever forms, wherever it forms, will be a pretty powerful storm. Different than the system we just had. This one's more of a slow-moving system. You know, the type that would give us a lot of wind as well. We didn't have much wind with this past weekend storm. So differences in that forecast. Those details coming up, Ken, in a few minutes.
Hey, Mike, just because you mentioned lottery, did you know that I might as well throw this in there, on Elizabeth Avenue in Newark, I guess it was this week, somebody won $600,000 with a scratch-off.
Wow.
That's like one of
And a
those scratch-offs of
scratch-off.
a scratch-off.
That's
That
impressive.
would get you on, what is it, My Lottery Millionaire Home on HGTV
Mm,
or whatever. You know that show that with
I know
David,
the
what's
show.
his name?
Yep.
So apparently he won 600,000, or she, the individual won 600,000 top prize on a crossword extreme
Whoa.
scratch-off. So apparently there are 2 more of those. Sorry, Pam, how quick she is with the video. She's like right on it. There are 2 more out there. So the top prize, they had 3 top prizes, 3 600,000 prizes, and
Yes.
one is right there in Newark. So crossword
Huh.
extreme scratch off ticket. So go and look for that ticket. There's still 2 more out there for 600 G's. Not a bad winning for a
Amazing.
buck or whatever it cost. No, actually, it was a $30 ticket. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say a buck.
Okay. Well, that's
$30.
okay.
So it's a $30 investment. All right. So you got 600 G's back. Not so bad. It's a good investment. Good return. All right, sir. We appreciate you. It is a chilly 11 degrees in Trenton. It hasn't budged now in an hour. It is 15 degrees northern New Jersey. Quick check of traffic. We have a disabled vehicle 280 eastbound west of exit 13 Orange Street, Newark. The right shoulder's closed. Overturned vehicle 287 at exit 39 Route 10 in Hanover. That's been around for over an hour. 2 right lanes of the 4 lanes and the ramp lane closed. We have a water main break now reported. Route 45, both directions at Route 49 in Salem. And we have a crash on 78 local lanes, and that is located, excuse me there as we update, at exit 48, Route 24 west in Springfield. Left lane closed. Route 1, water main break, both directions south of Woodbridge Ave and Edison. All lanes closed there. Route 208 now southbound from north of Goff Road and Hawthorne to north of Maple Ave and Glen Rock. All lanes are open, but massive delays due to icing on the roadways. And your Hudson River crossings right now, it's going to cost you 25 to 30 on the Holland or at the Holland and the Lincoln. It's going to be 45 minutes. GWB upper and lower levels. You can see both very heavy as you, it's lightened up a little on the lower now. That's good. Take the lower. Upper is still kind of slow. You can see on the right side. The American Red Cross reporting a severe blood shortage, and they are urging people to roll up their sleeves and donate now to help prevent delays in medical care for patients nationwide. But you know what? It's even worse here in the Northeast because we've had more bad weather and we have more incidents of flu. Hospital requests for blood supplies exceeding supply, with the nation's blood inventory down about 35% in the past month alone. So we've had a tough flu season. We've had the winter storms, all making things worse. Hospitals are being forced in many cases to triage blood products. Dr. Courtney Lawrence is Division Chief Medical Officer at the American Red Cross. She joins us with more. We say good morning to you, Dr. Lawrence.
Good morning, Ken.
Well, it's good to have you on with us. I spent about 20 years as a every few month blood donor, and then they put me on. I have AFib, so I'm on blood thinners and I'm on finasteride. So as a result, I'm told unless you're off it for a few months, can't donate. It breaks my heart because I used to love to donate, and I wish more people would get into the habit. Even if you donate once a year, twice a year at the holidays, right? Just to get people in that habit. So is it the weather now and the flu and everything else that's keeping people away?
That's absolutely right, Ken. And one, thank you for having been a blood donor. And it's equally important to have people who are getting the messaging out how important blood donation is. So if you know that you yourself are not eligible to donate, but you're telling your friends and family about the need for blood, that is hugely important. So, in recent weeks, the hospital demand, the patient need for blood has really outpaced the Red Cross's ability to keep a healthy and robust blood supply for the entire nation. And you're absolutely right. We are experiencing the worst flu season that we've had in the last 20 years. And with a large number of people out in the community who are feeling ill themselves or taking care of their sick family members, they're just not able to come in and donate during that period.
Dr. Lawrence, I mean, is January normally a time when we have a shortage? Is that why January is blood donation month? Is that the reason to try to encourage people right now to donate?
Absolutely, we expect that every year during the winter months, we're going to have some unique challenges because there will be periods where, in certain places throughout the country, it's just not safe for donors to travel and to see us. However, we've really experienced the worst of it this winter season. So, this past December, about 3 times the number of drives were shortened or canceled compared to December of the year prior due to inclement weather. And just this past weekend alone, more than 400 drives had to be closed between Oklahoma and Maine due to Fern and the subsequent winter weather. And that really equals 10,000 plus blood and platelet units that weren't able to be collected for patients.
Oh, that is awful. So that is so tragic. So many people need it. Hey, you have, God forbid, an accident. Some people lose a lot of blood in a serious car accident. They need multiple pints of transfusion. So this is critical to save somebody's life, and it's almost obscene in this era that somebody could potentially lose their lives because there aren't enough donations. It doesn't seem like reality, but it sure is, right? And why not donate, I should say, why not organize a blood drive at your company? It's easy to do. I used to work for a radio station in central Hudson Valley, New York, and we used to do an annual one. Just the truck would come to us and we'd get 15, 20, 25 people would schedule right there at work. It would take a few hours to get all those people to donate, but it's such an easy thing to do, right? What do they just contact the American Red Cross to set that up?
That's absolutely right, Ken. And we so appreciate people who are willing to sponsor blood drives on the behalf of Red Cross. But for anybody who's interested in donating, it's as easy as going to redcrossblood.org and looking for the closest blood drive that's sponsored to their zip code and location.
There's even I live half-time in South Florida and half-time here, and there are a couple of movie theater chains in South Florida that offer deals where if you go donate the pint of blood, they have the bloodmobile right there at the movie theater. If you donate the pint of blood, they'll give you some movie tickets. Anything to just urge people to go check it out. By the way, doesn't hurt. It's a pinch for a second. You lay down there, you relax, everything's good. You get a cup of juice or a candy bar, whatever afterward, you're fine. And you've saved a life. It's the feeling, the reward it's cathartic in knowing that, 20 minutes of your time could have saved a human being. And all you did was lay there. So you're not being asked to go and fight a fire to save a human life. I'm just curious as to why everyone doesn't automatically understand that is it that people are just afraid of needles?
I think it's a couple factors. I think really it is the fear of the unknown, and I appreciate you saying that, Ken. That really it is an easy process. Really, we want people who are coming in to donate to feel comfortable and to feel their best, and so that's why we recommend scheduling an appointment so that you know that you have some time to prepare, making sure they're getting a good night's sleep the night before they come in. We want them to eat a healthy meal when they come in to donate. So it's different than when you're going to your blood doctor's office and getting blood work drawn where they might say fast. We don't want you to fast coming into the Red Cross donation site. We want you to hydrate. So that always helps, making sure that you have plenty of water on board so that you can recover most quickly, and bringing what helps you feel comfortable. So wearing comfortable clothing, easy to roll up a sleeve, and bringing a book, bringing your earbuds to listen to your favorite music. Our staff will help make people feel comfortable and explain what's happening throughout the process. But all of those other small things can really set people up for success.
Yeah, and it's probably a good idea if you're a parent, tell your kids from when they're young. I guess you have to be 16, right? 16 and in good health to start donating, and up until 64, is it?
So it depends on your state in terms of the lower age limit. In some states, it's 16, and in some states, it's 17 years of age. And there is no upper age limit on
Oh,
donating blood. So if you are feeling otherwise healthy and well, then you are eligible to make an appointment and be screened for blood donation.
good deal. And it's like 20 to 30 minutes. It's so easy. And again, like I said, you save a life. And if you're a parent, a young parent, teach your kids. Make that. I know parents who make sure their kids know that at the holidays they should go volunteer or even year-round volunteer. Make this part of the process, right? Teach your kids that blood donation should be a responsibility that we do as a fellow human being to help save other lives. Just so important to do. What's the website once again, doctor?
Sure. It's redcrossblood.org.
We are seriously in a lack of supply right now nationwide. Think about it. The pint of blood you donate today could go to save your next door neighbor, your relative, your friend tomorrow. It is very, very important that you take the time to donate. All right, the American Red Cross, just a wonderful organization and there to save lives for Americans. Dr. Courtney Lawrence, Division Chief Medical Officer at the American Red Cross. We thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Ken.
You bet. It is a chilly 11 degrees right now at 8:28. The phone lines are open, taking calls at 888-658-0234. Sun and clouds this morning, clouds later, windy, cold, highs of 20. Watching on New Jersey Mornings, back in a minute.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
morning. It is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026, 11 degrees at 8:30, balmy. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. A mix of clouds and sun this morning, becoming cloudy later. Very cold and windy. Highs about 20. It'll feel colder than that. And bitter and cold tonight, down to about 5. I get it's like a drinking game. Every time I say cold, take another shot. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the detailed Garden State forecast.
This weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts, serving all of New Jersey with 13 locations.
Mike, if I took a shot every time I said cold right there, I'd be shit-faced right now. Can I say shit-faced?
This is the cold that makes you want to drink. Yes, it's streaming. You can say whatever you want. You get all messed up on a day like today. It's the cold that won't quit, Ken. And with the threat of more snow for southern New Jersey this weekend, the forecast goes to hell, especially as we head into Friday and Saturday. Temperatures this week, struggling just to make it above freezing. We are in the single digits now. We only make it to the teens by this afternoon, 20s at best. And then it gets even colder over the next few days. So we're not too far off from records, and we'll probably set those as soon as Thursday or Friday is our best potential for smashing some overnight record lows. Clear sky right now, even though it looks cloudy. No, that's the infrared satellite picking up the cold air. And with all of more cold air coming in with that front, we dive into a deeper freeze for tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Good news about the weekend is that most of New Jersey probably doesn't see any snow. A lot of the newest weather modeling coming in shows that the storm forms so far off to our south that it might not impact portions of northwestern New Jersey at all. Look at the Futurecast long range. We start off on Saturday late afternoon into the evening, and while the coastal communities could see some snow out of this, you head north and west of the Turnpike, it is completely dry. The air is simply too dry, and the storm centers too far offshore to impact us here in the city and even up toward northeastern New Jersey. So it's really out for the Cape, Cape Cod and going out to New England. That could be your storm. Again, if there's a 50 to 100 mile shift, that changes, but the trend is keeping that storm far enough out to sea. It shouldn't be impactful going into this weekend. Maybe at the worst, we get some flurries. It's more concerning this cold, especially the intensity and the duration that keeps highs only in the teens for most of the week. There's our threat for some flurries on Sunday, northern New Jersey. Better chance to see some snow down the shore, especially you in Cape May. I think you've got the better potential of seeing a light accumulation. And then by Monday of next week, finally make it up to the freezing mark, Ken.
All right, sir. Thank you. Hey, Mike, remember I told you a little while ago, we were talking about getting out of Dodge and how airline fees are a little, or not fees, but costs of tickets are a little lower. We just got an update here on, we get this from time to time from the traffic folks, that the different parking lots, the major parking lots for people driving to the airports,
Right.
whenever it's above 90% capacity, they give us an alert to tell everybody, make sure you have a reservation before you drive an hour to the airport and find out you can't park your car, and then you're SOL. So now JFK is reporting that their lots, including Lot 4, which is the big one, that's by the international terminal, 97% capacity. So do not leave. If you're driving to the airport, apparently they've had enough. If you're driving to the airport, make sure you have a reservation to park. Otherwise, Uber or Lyft or cab it. Do not take a
Yeah, but
chance.
you got to do the whole transfer at the rideshare lot for Terminal 4. It's not fun, so I can see why people want to drive.
Well, I'm with you. All right, sir. We'll check back. Thank you very much. It is 11 degrees right now in New Jersey at Trenton, 14 degrees northern New Jersey. It is 12 degrees down in Vineland. Over by Philadelphia, 15 degrees right now. And New York City is 16 degrees. It is 8:34. In terms of traffic, we're looking at a crash on the New Jersey Turnpike Outer Roadway now, southbound north of Interchange 11, the Garden State Parkway, Woodbridge with the right lane blocked. We have a water main break still on US 1, both directions south of Woodbridge Ave and Edison. All lanes closed northbound, one left lane of 3 lanes closed south. And a disabled vehicle, 280 eastbound west of exit 13, Orange Street in Newark. That's causing some delays by the exit ramp. Checking your Hudson River crossings, the Lincoln and Holland both reporting 20 to 25 into Manhattan right now. GWB upper and lower levels. Moving better on the lower level, which is on the left there, than the upper on the right. It's going to cost you 25 to 30. On the lower and 35 to 40 in the upper. 8:35 is our time. One of the most familiar faces in comedy and one of the stars of Impractical Jokers. Bringing his stand-up show back to New Jersey, James Murray is hitting the stage with Murr Live, the Errors Tour. coming to the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, February 20th and 21st. He's also staying busy with new episodes of Impractical Jokers, which premiered January 15th. It airs every Thursday on TBS. By the way, my 95-year-old father was the one who turned me on to it years ago. He is the biggest fan. And fans may be surprised to learn about his passion project, the Pacific Southern Railway. We say good morning to James Murray. James, you got to give a shout out to my 95-year-old father, Dan, who is the one who turned me on.
Dan,
he loves
David,
you.
Man.
Oh, man.
Your father clearly raised a good man, so there you go.
He has good taste, right?
Yeah.
What is it like doing stand-up on the Eras Tour? How is that different from what fans see of you on TV?
Sure. Well, I mean, my show is stand-up comedy, but the other that's only half the show. The other half, I completely make up as I go. It's like an improv show, just like Joker's is an improv show. So I play two games with the audience that I think are really unique for a stand-up comedy show. One is I borrow three audience members' cell phones, and from their phones, I start texting people on their behalf, as if it's them. God. And then we have to deal with the consequences live as it happens. And inevitably, I'll end up FaceTiming people from their phone on screen at the Stress Factory. It's a really fun game. And then the last thing I do in my show is I play Impractical Jokers live, meaning I choose somebody from the audience, put an earpiece in their ear, send them out into the streets of New Jersey. We watch on screen in the club, and live on the spot, they've got to do and say whatever I tell them to. It's outrageous.
Oh my God. I can only imagine what the response is from folks on the street who have no idea they're not in on it. That's hilarious. The tour coming to the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, great community, by the way, right near Rutgers, not too far from there. What's it like performing stand-up in New Jersey, especially so close to home for you?
I mean, I live 20 minutes away from the Stress Factory. I'm in Princeton, like the edge of Princeton. So I'll tell you what's best about the Stress Factory, the commute. For me, it's better than flying to Tulsa. Or this weekend I'm in Tacoma. Like, great, Tacoma's lovely people, but take me back to Jersey any day. It's great, man. We've been there so many times over the years. The guys and I, great people. His hometown, obviously, and the Stress Factory has been really good to us from day one, man. Like before we knew what our show was, our tour was. We've been filming Jokers now for 16 years, and 15 years ago we started our tour at the Stress Factory. And before we knew what the tour was. So they've been very kind and generous to us for a long, long time.
I love it. I mean, doing a live show in the New York, New Jersey area must be very different from doing it in Tulsa. I mean, do you notice that people are more into snark and things like that here versus other places in the country?
I think you have to be a little bit sharper here, because they won't put up with it, and they've heard everything before. They've seen everything before. You go to Tulsa, it's all brand new, but they're both great shows and great people. But, I think it's hometown crowd. Nothing beats a hometown crowd,
I love it. I could just imagine the New Jersey goes, hey, look at this asshole up here on the stage. Make me freaking laugh. I love the people like that.
This is blowing my mind right now.
What's that?
Heard now. This is the third curse I've heard on this broadcast, and it's blowing my mind because I've never done a streaming interview like this before, and I can't believe it. I feel liberated. I feel like I can say anything. I won't because I'm still trained for media, but I want to.
You know how difficult I was an anchor for ABC News in New York for 20 years. And those words were always in the back of my head, Murray. Right? I could never say them. And being the Goomba Rosato that I am, I mean, every other thing in my head was freaking effing, and I couldn't say it. It is the first time those words left my mouth, I literally thought somebody was going to get in my ear and yell at me and scream. Say,
screw it. We're streaming. I'm taking my pants off.
We could say, hey, it's been done before. Listen, that's how I'm dressed. So there you have it. That's a nice part of it being in this studio. So now what are fans going to be able to expect from this season of Impractical Jokers? I knew new season just debuted 12 days ago. It airs every Thursday on TBS. So my dad reminds me of that, and I love it too. It's a great show. So what do we expect from the new season?
We've been on for 2 weeks now. This week's the third episode. Spoiler, I do lose this Thursday's episode in a really funny way, though. They had me dress up as like a sanitation worker with a giant vacuum on his back cleaning a park in New York City, right? And in the park in New York City, it was one of those movie nights where they're playing Forrest Gump and everybody comes to picnic, with all their stuff, throw down the blankets, they're there to watch a movie. And I'm there as the park worker with the vacuum, right? And my goal was to, suck up as many real items of people's belongings as possible. And they had a bingo board of all people's personal possessions. And I didn't know what was on the bingo board. I just had to keep sucking up people's stuff on the lawn until I completed bingo. It was so funny.
That's freaking
So
hilarious.
I sucked up a woman's vape. I sucked up a guy's entire ice cream cone, a guy's full Tito Sprite gone, multiple bags of chips, a person's keys, a sock off a foot. It was great.
That's awesome. I love it. And you never know. You're going to find that one like inappropriate object that you sucked up. That'll make the day.
The woman had the vape in her mouth, and I sucked it right out of her mouth, and it's gone. And she goes,
Oh
"How do
my
I get it
God.
back?" I was like, "Well, you can go to Lost and Found in the Bronx if you want to go get it. You have to give them 3 to 5 days."
Now, we got about a minute and a half left. We got to talk about the Pacific Southern Railway. What's that
Sure.
about?
Sure. Well, by the way, if you want tickets for Stress Factory, go to merlive.com. It's going to be so much fun. Pacific Southern is here in Jersey, man. It's 25 minutes away from there as well. So Pacific Southern is one of America's longest running, oldest model railroad clubs that was about to go out of business last year. The owner of the house died. It's 12,000 square feet of professional model railroading. So the night before the widow had to sell the house, my wife and I bought it to save the train club. So now I'm a member of Pacific Southern Railway, and I got the brand new Walther's box cars right here as well.
Oh my God.
You gotta come
I
see
love
it. We open
That's
the house up
very
to the
cool.
public twice a year. There'll be a Summerfest June 20th and the holiday show. Go to pacificsouthern.org. Become a member in person or virtually. It is a treasure, a New Jersey piece of art that needs to be saved.
Hey, the railroad is what built this country. So
Yeah.
it's just a wonderful part of our history. That's very cool. And there's something magical. Little kids all love trains, right? It's just a magical thing.
We
Well,
had
he will
thousands
be at,
of people go to the house and for the holiday show. You got to come by next time it's at open house.
that's awesome. That makes the holidays. He will be at the Stress Factory, New Brunswick, February 20th and 21st as part of his Errors Tour. One of the most familiar faces in comedy, one of the stars of Impractical Jokers, James Murray, New Jersey man. Thank you for coming on this morning. Let's
Thanks,
go,
Ken. And
Chris.
thanks, Dan.
Thank you. Have a great one, my friend. It is 11 degrees at 8:43 when we come back. Monmouth County getting a brand new live music destination. Mix of sun and clouds this morning, cloudy later. Cold and windy, highs about 20. Cold tonight, lows down to 5. We'll be right back on New Jersey Mornings.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 8:45, taking calls at 888-658-0234. Mix of clouds and sun this morning, becoming cloudy later. Very cold and windy. Highs about 20, but the winds are going to make it feel colder than that. And then bitter cold tonight, down to 5. Bright meteorologist Mike Favetta with the Garden State forecast.
This weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts, serving all of New Jersey with 13 locations.
Mike, 5 is a scary number.
It is. It is when it's a temperature. So is -4. And I think going into the negative integers by the time we get to Friday, yeah, it's not going to feel so great. Actual temperatures, the wind chill already below 0. We're smashing records, at least forecast to, by the end of this week. And look at how deep that blue is all the way on the edge of the scale here, below average, through the end of the first week of February into the first few days before Valentine's Day. We have so much cold weather that extends all the way down to Florida. Now you have to remember, the average temperature of Florida, much warmer than here in New Jersey, but still to be a few degrees below that. It's going to feel chilly over the next few days, and the extreme cold lasts across northern New Jersey, with today's highs not leaving the teens west of Morristown, even toward western Passaic County, West Milford, 15 degrees, so that cold air is here to stay. Overnight lows down in the single digits for the next several days, right through Saturday, Sunday, with that potential snowstorm offshore. Maybe we get a few flakes and flurries in northwestern New Jersey. Best chance of seeing an accumulation is down the shore, south of Atlantic City, maybe even at the coast. Might be too far away from the storm center. As the track stands now, if that changes, there could be higher accumulations. But beyond that, more so worry about how cold it is and your pipes from freezing over the next 7 days, because the duration of this cold is kind of unprecedented, considering how we don't get back above freezing, Ken, until Monday of next week. Even Tuesday only makes it to 34.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Ready for the bitter cold, because I'm planning a trip to warmer climes. We all have to do that. We'll check you again tomorrow, Mike. I know you got to put a big blanket on the weather computer to keep it going. Yes, indeed. All right, it is 8:47 right now. In terms of temperatures, 19 degrees. We really have 19? I think that has to be wrong in northern New Jersey. It's still 11 in Trenton. All of a sudden, maybe some sun is hitting the sensor in northern New Jersey. Again, it is very cold down in Vineland. It's only 12 degrees there, and it is 14 degrees down the shore in Cape May. We look at traffic, and we're finding a crash on Route 1 and 9. It's northbound by McClellan Street in Newark. 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes closed. 287, we have a crash southbound at exit 41, I-80 Parsippany Troy Hills. The left lane is closed there. And on the Turnpike, there's a crash right now. And this is outer roadway southbound north of interchange 11 by the Garden State Parkway Woodbridge. The right lane is blocked there. Ongoing water main break, US 1. This is both directions south of Woodbridge Ave and Edison. All lanes are closed there. And we have a water main break also. A lot of these happening this time of year. Obviously, Route 45, both directions of Route 49 in Salem. All lanes are closed through there. Disabled vehicle now 280 eastbound west of exit 13, Orange Street in Newark. The right shoulder is closed. Your Hudson River crossings, Lincoln and Holland, both reporting 20 minutes into the city right now. GWB upper and lower levels. Lower level was better a little bit. Yeah, actually now both are good. It's only 20 to 25 and much better than it was an hour ago. Well, Monmouth County is getting a brand new live music destination. It's funny because when I think Monmouth and Ocean counties, I think down the shore, right? You think going down to the pretty part of Jersey. Not so much this time of year, though, but it is still a beautiful part of New Jersey. Monmouth County getting a brand new live music destination, Park Stage. New outdoor concert experience created through a partnership between the Count Basie Center for the Arts and Monmouth County Tourism. It's in Freehold in the East Freehold Park Fairgrounds, part of the Basie Center's centennial celebration. And it's a lead up to America's 250th, bringing major acts, community energy, and a big boost to local businesses. Joining us this morning to talk about what this means for the county and for concert goers are Commissioner Tom Arnone, who's Director of Monmouth County Board of Commissioners, and Adam Phillipson, President and CEO of the Count Basie Center for the Arts. Good morning, gentlemen. Good to have you on this rather chilly morning.
Good morning, Ken. Good seeing you. Good always is.
Hope you both have the heat going.
Listen, nothing like talking about cold weather for us to be able to give you a little peek at what's coming this summer, right?
Hey,
That's
I'll
so
look
so true.
ahead. I'll look ahead. Just think, as Mike, our meteorologist, said, basically you get through the next 2 weeks, the worst of winter may be over. So the
Right.
depths of the cold, you get into mid-February, and then you could look ahead to March, and then boom, it's all good. So now the lineup was just announced yesterday. Talk about Park Stage and what it's going to be like to see and act at Park Stage.
So before Adam jumps on with this the great announcement yesterday, Park Stage, obviously, as everybody knows, is a partnership between Count Basie, um, Center for Arts, and of course the county. And we thought this was very, very important. And I got to thank Adam, because Adam stepped up. We know we have a big celebration coming. Monmouth County is really on the forefront, led by our co-chairs, Christine Hanlon and myself, along with Sheriff Sean Golden and the rest of the commissioners, to try to really make this a big celebration for the county. So we tried to think of how can we help. And everybody loves music. Everybody's happy. Everybody's enjoying themselves. And this is the part of the county that might sometime be missed out when we have types of events like this. So Adam jumped in. It was something that we thought would be really positive, and we have a great site. And Adam came out with a great announcement yesterday in partnership with us, and we're excited.
Yeah, so let's talk about Adam. Let's get some of the acts. What did we
Yeah.
announce yesterday?
So the three that we announced yesterday will be kicking off with Sublime. That'll be on June 19th. And then we have The Head and the Heart. That's going to be on June 26th. And then we have the B-52s on July 11th. There's more in our hip pocket waiting to be shared, but some of those are timed with some national announces. So we're going to be over the next couple of weeks and months, we'll be sharing more for the summer, which basically will start around early June, as we mentioned, and take us through September. So super excited. We'll have about 12 to 14 shows, and just a great way for us to not only celebrate our centennial, but really call attention to Monmouth County in this amazing moment with the semi-quincentennial celebration.
That's awesome. Yes, to celebrate the 250th for America. That's a great way to do it, New Jersey. One of the first 13, we remind the folks in Montana. Always have that over their heads. Uh, let's, I mean, Monmouth County is really the heart of the state, obviously physically located in the heart of the state, but it's also just a beautiful part of New Jersey. It really, you're the beautiful mix of northern New Jersey and the bustle of New York City, but you kind of escape. You're kind of an hour away from everybody, which makes it just a perfect destination for anybody, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why this was really important, Ken, because obviously everybody in the summer, as we're talking about this cold, crazy weather, everybody's looking and driving past the beaches, not getting out of their car, but driving past the beaches there. But I will tell you, we have so much more to offer, and you just touched on that. And we figured this would give a boost to the economy and the businesses by having some type of venue like this in the central part. Here too, also, so that the people from the western part of the county and the central part of the county, they can have an event center to go to. And we have the great fairgrounds, the East Freehold Park grounds, so we're have a better place. Obviously it's very successful at our Monmouth County Fair, so hey, let's move on it even more.
I have to tell you, having been in the industry, I was a radio DJ in New York for many, many years before I became a TV news anchor. And I personally don't like being in stadiums for concerts. I don't like arenas. I don't like feeling confined. The only time I like to see a show is in fairgrounds, like yours. That to me, summertime fairgrounds, that's fun. The whole environment, it becomes part of the whole thing, right? Part of the experience is
Totally.
going to an event. You hang out in the neighborhood all day.
That's what we saw. Sorry, when we were driving through the different areas where we could possibly stage this, and it just became clear to all of us this was the right spot. So easy to get to from any of the major roads and freeways, that it's been able to accommodate far more than our capacity will be for some of the bigger events that happen at the fairgrounds. So there's going to be ample free parking. Really, it's going to be a beautiful experience. I think everyone's going to be happy with it. And this is when you're sort of heating up a new venue. So there's just a lot of beautiful attention that's going into it. Great partnerships. The county have just been an unbelievable partner in us making this a reality.
Yeah, I mean, you spend the day at the beach, maybe get a little Airbnb, you hang out there, then you come over, see the concert. I mean, that's the way to do it, right? That's just it's just beautiful, and it's right here at home in New Jersey. I got to ask you too, how did you look at such a wide variety of acts? Because you're really appealing to a very wide audience.
Well, that's what we wanted to do for sure. We wanted to make sure that we were capturing all demographics that would want to enjoy an outdoor venue. And so, that's been the process that our team have been going through, really having long conversations with artists and agents and managers, and making sure that they understood the venue, where it was going to be, what would the experience be. And I think we were able to, use a lot of the relationships we have from doing this so successfully at the Count Basie Center for the Arts, and it was just a logical spot, and a spot that was in need. And the images of what it's going to look like, we're able to convince artists that let's do this. This is going to be really good.
Fantastic. And
And Ken,
Tom,
also,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, so also to piggyback on that, when we initially started this early discussions with, with my administrator, Terry O'Connor, myself, and then speaking to the rest of the commissioner board, then bringing in Adam's team in there was a lot of things that we wanted to see play to make this, what we envisioned. Obviously was a location first, and there was multiple locations we were looking at, but we really settled on this and thought that this would be the best type of venue to have a concert series like this. But more importantly, like Adam did, and I really appreciate Adam and his team putting together a variety of types of music that will hit all different types of age demographics, where they can also frequent the businesses, like you said, have a day at the shore, go out to dinner at the shore, and then enjoy a concert, and who knows, maybe even spend the night somewhere in the shore. So all the business areas are being touched.
Perfect. And we only have about 30 seconds left. Tickets go on sale for these shows this Friday, 10 a.m. What's a website to get the tickets?
Yeah, I mean, you can always catch everything at our website at the BasieCenter.org, but parkstage.org is where you can get the first tickets, and we're super excited. We're looking forward to seeing the community really get behind bringing this new venue to life.
All right. Well, it is called Park Stage. It's a new outdoor concert experience in Monmouth County. Commissioner Tom Arnone, director of the Monmouth County Board of Commissioners, and Adam Phillipson, president and CEO of the Count Basie Center for the Arts. Very exciting summer ahead. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Ken. Stay warm.
Thanks for having us.
You too. Thank you. It is 11 degrees in Trenton. Meteorologist Mike Favetta says clouds and sun this morning, cloudy later, very cold and windy. Highs about 20, bitter cold tonight. That's on New Jersey Mornings for your Tuesday. Have a wonderful day. See you again tomorrow at 7 a.m.